Hello and welcome back to my grass monotype of Pokemon Emerald Omega. In the last episode, we were defeating Flannery at the Lava Ridge Town gym, and then we were making our way through most of Norman's gym. Without much difficulty, actually, which I was rather surprised with. Having Breloom on our team is certainly proving to be pretty, very helpful in this part. So you can see we now have the Lilip on our team. It is level 43. I think I need to get it to 43 for Ancient Power, otherwise we'd have waited even longer for a Rock-type move. So here we have it, Lilip, level 43. I think I got a Careful Nature, which isn't too bad. Sort of nature we want. Suction Cup's ability, because we do not get Storm Drain until... Cradilly did not get Storm Drain until Generation 4, I think, when sort of Dreamworld abilities and stuff like that became the norm. So yeah. Anyway, so we're just going to zip through a bunch of battles here, primarily just trying to eke those last few experience points towards our Lilip, so we can gain a level and get our evolution into Cradilly, and then most of this episode is pretty much going to be allowing our Cradilly to get to a point of, close to evolution. Sorry, not close to evolution. Trying to continually sort of grind up our Cradilly such that we're getting closer and closer to the level of the rest of our mons, sort of around the 50s. I wasn't going to grind all the way up into the 49, 50 area. It was just going to be a pain. So, Tailo, we see around here, we see another Tailo. So we now have a Cradilly on our team, obviously a very handy resistance for the gym ahead, so that was another very helpful thing. So I'm just going to check, to see if we have any items that might be of particular use to us. So we can keep them to Shiftry. I don't know why we had a Cherry Berry on Shiftry, but there we go. Got a Soft Sand, but we don't have any ground type moves, I don't think. Magic Ray, Sunstone, Moonstone, PP Up, Silk Potion, Silk Scarf. Charcoal is obviously going to be super useful on my team. So we'll just give the Silk Scarf to Ludicolo, who I think still has the Fake Out. But yeah, no, not expecting too much here. We were pretty much destroying most of Norman's team, all of these gym trainers. So we will see how much more difficult Norman himself will be. I think we'll lead off Cradilly just to sort of see, test the waters, and we'll see what happens. So you did get 4 back. It's fine, as I promised, we'll have a Pokemon battle. Mark, I'm so happy that I can have a real battle with my own charge. But a battle is a battle. I will do everything in my power as a gym leader to win. Mark, you better give it your best shot too. So, Leader Norman sends out a Tauros at level 40. So obviously we do have this. We are certainly much higher in level than he is. So like I could ingrain Amnesia, set up and just try and stall him out essentially. But I don't really have the moves for that. As he goes for the Iron Head, which is going to be super effective. We're going to land with Ancient Power, and it does very little, as you would expect. So, Iron Head. Ludicolo is certainly going to resist that. Being a Water type, we can then Fake Out, because why not? And then we will Bubble Beam. As he goes for the Facade, thankfully we have not given him a status, so that Facade did very little. The next one he sends out is the Granbull. And so I'm just going to go into Cradilly just to sort of scout what he wants to go for. Goes for the Play Rough, and he gets a crit, which kind of sucks. Does that mean he's a fairy in this game? We'll go into Vileplume here, and we'll go for the Acid. That is most certainly super effective, as he goes for the Crunch. And the Berry he had no use, which is always nice. So, Ursaring is going to come out. I guess it could be like there's variations in Ursaring which sort of have, Fleet. I can't remember what the ability is called. It's the one where you get faster if you have no you move faster if you have, like, if your item's removed, I think. Something like that. I don't know exactly what. Oh no, you have faster if you're statused, I think, or poisoned. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He went for counter, and thankfully we did not acid that time. We'll just continually, we can continue to Giga Drain here. We will get back way more health than these mons are trying to take away from us, which is a lovely job. Linoon comes out, which could obviously be a problem. Belly Drum is a thing, as he goes for the Facade instead, which is fine. And the Giga Drain, the Citrus there will actually just help us get back up to full Vileplume, putting in the work this battle. And we see the slacking. I'm just going to Giga Drain here. He's going to do a fair amount of damage with Facade. But, I mean, we can now swap out to our Breloom on the free move. And we don't outspeed, but we can put him to sleep with Spore. And Sky Uppercut will take out the slacking. Meaning we can quite easily defeat Norman there. I can't believe it. Well, I lost to Mark, but rules are rules. Here, take this. So we're going to get the Balance Badge from Dad. With that badge, the defense of all your Pokemon will increase, and we'll be able to use Surf. This is my gift to you. I'm sure you can use it correctly. And that is Facade as well. It doubles the power of move if a Pokemon is poisoned, paralyzed, or burned. It may be able to turn a bad situation into an advantage. As the gym leader, I can't express how upset I am, but as a father, it makes me both happy and a little sad. It's odd. So this is obviously Wally's parents, and they're saying that Wally's become very healthy, and he's very happy, and he's going to give us Surf, which is exactly sort of what we need. What is that? I want to keep this, but Wally left Verdant Turf Town without telling anyone. He's frail, but he's strong-willed. I'm sure he'll come back to sleep and sound. So, excellent. That was not too difficult a battle, ultimately. A little sad that, obviously, Cradili's first sort of action was to faint, but I think it was worth checking it, and obviously it was a crit, which was slightly unfortunate. I just wanted to sort of scout for them on, for the move they wanted to go for, because it's been a fair while since I've actually played on this game, and so making sure I was sort of up to speed with everything was always going to be something that I just wanted to be certain about, let's say. So anyway, we can now do a lot of surfing. Obviously it is Hoenn, so therefore surfing is like the main mode of transportation in many ways. And thankfully, because it is obviously, we are a grass type team, this is actually where our team should actually start looking really, really good, because teams like the swimmer teams, where they're just going to be full of water types, should be absolutely no problem for us. I'd like to say for certain, obviously, that is never the case. It may well turn out to be way more of a problem than you think. But there we go. Case in point, this tentacle, this tentacle, which is actually not particularly nice for us to deal with. Water poison, like the poison type, covers a lot of our team, so I feel like going into Vileplumes here, but could have Liquid Ooze. It does not have Liquid Ooze, which is always nice. If you had Liquid Ooze, obviously our Giga Drains would actually be hurting us, as opposed to healing us. So here we have one of the sort of small trainers that they try and essentially introduce, because they're like, we can't just have everyone being a surely everyone can't be a water type trainer. So we'll see how much Ancient Power does. It does not do a lot. Wasn't really expecting much, I will say. We'll just go into our shift tree here. Dig does very little. We can Leaf Blade for solid damage. Leaf Blade should also take out the Sand Slash. Indeed it does. Yeah, I do remember parts of this route. Got a nice little double battle over there. I mean, we can kill the Wingull with it. The fact we're slower than the Wingull is slightly embarrassing, but there we go. Are we slower than the Tentacle? Can we kill the Tentacle? No. So obviously we suffer because we just don't have the Spatak, really. Like, even Cradilly is Cradilly is sort of mixed, actually. You can sort of hit it on both sides. Like, you can run a physical and you can run them both physical and special. So this isn't ideal. Cradilly, we will Ancient Power the Swallow because you're here. We might as well try it. And the Breloom. It's difficult because obviously Swallow, usually pretty fast, probably going to do a lot of damage if it lands a flying type move. We'll just go into Vileplume as a sort of a bulkier mon that can hopefully take a hit. Can indeed. Ancient Power does a good amount of damage. We will just Acid and Giga Drain into the Sandshrew, which should give us back all of our a decent amount of HP. And Acid does take out the Swallow, which is great. So Pelipper is also a problem, but we'll just swap into our Ludicolo here, and you can Giga Drain the Sandshrew once more. Pursuit is fine, like, honestly, if you're going to Pursuit me, I'm really not too worried. I will just fake out into Giga Drain. Giga Drain should do a good amount. Lovely. Great work. Vileplume's doing a very good job. And they say, sort of generic sort of Pokemon trainer stuff. Well, great commentary. Generic Pokemon trainer stuff. So, yeah, this is the problem. Obviously, leading Cradilly, especially... Oh, just let me take you out. That does not give me nearly enough experience to actually be worth it. But at the same time, we want to lead Cradilly because otherwise we do not level up our Cradilly. So I think this will be a Reggie. Looks like the sort of place where we find Reggies in the end. I don't quite remember exactly what happens here in Gen 3. Felt like I should remember, but that's how it goes. Okay, so we'll go into Ludicolo here, expecting not that. Nature Power turns into Surf, I think, over water. Does turn into Surf. Swallow is fine. Does isn't really anything to worry about. You see how much Absorb does? I hate the fact that Ludicolo gets such terrible coverage. But it's something that we just have to sort of, unfortunately, cope with. Some unevolved Pokemon aren't going to be giving us too much stuff. Woman being coy about her weight. Or at least a swimmer is. We have another trainer there. So yeah, it's not ideal, sort of, you know, battling these Wingull. But they're giving us not insignificant experience. Okay, so Swimmer Luis wants a battle. Since our Carvanha, we'll go into our Breloom as we reduce both stabs. We can do Seed Bomb because I don't think it's a contact move. If Circle was Rough Skin, we wouldn't take the damage. Breloom gets to go to level 50 and wants to learn Drain Punch. And the difference between 85 and 75 in terms of damage, like, it's just better. I think, obviously Skyapple has the handy of being able to like hit mons during fly and bounce, I think. But I'd much rather have the not only the extra accuracy, but also the ability just to, you know, heal off that damage is great. You know, it means we really can't be too threatened, which is great. So yeah, maybe Liquid Ooze is not a Gen 3 ability, which would be great to know. As well as Vileplume goes to level 52. And yeah, I mean, we're obviously running low on PP, but thankfully we're just by Dewford now, so we can just pop into the Pokemon Center here and heal up. We'll pretty much just be trying to complete most of this little area around here, so the Dewford area, getting a bunch of, you know, battling the trainers around here. Aside from that, there isn't actually too much for us specifically to be looking towards. Once we do this, we can we can't explore all of the undersea wreck because we don't have dive. So we don't need to really worry too much about that. And yeah, no, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. We can easily petal dance here for easy kills. Like, Meganium is great. Really great in this sort of scenario. Not often you say that Meganium is just really great, but yeah. Right now, you know, doing a good job. So here in Dewford, yeah, there's nothing else that way, which means that we can just start continuing our journey down Route 107, I want to say. And then we'll obviously be able to turn around and simply go back the other way. We'll see how much Ancient Power does, because they haven't... So, Cradily can easily deal with the rock types, which is nice. Rock Polish is an interesting one. It's probably better than Ingrain, just because Ingrain's such a risky move and that you won't, you know, you're just not going to be able to swap out. Ancient Power here is super effective, but Cloyster has the highest SPDF of any Gen 1 Mon, if I remember correctly. Ice is a little bit of a problem for us. No, it's defense that has, so SPDF. So Ancient Power being special will be demolishing it. That's great. Glad I remembered that. Yeah, Cloyster's that Mon. It has amazing defense, but absolutely terrible SPDF, which means that even neutral hits on the special side are going to cause it trouble. The big problem we have currently with Ancient Power is obviously, well, we have two. One is that it's special move, and we'd rather it be physical, and the other one is that so yeah, that's only got hit by rough skin. But yeah, one is special. The other one is that it's just not. The other one is that it doesn't have the base power that we really need, and it also doesn't have the PP that we need. So there's a lot of problems. So we've got a sister and brother here challenging us. We have Goldeen and Sea King. Cradily. Just amnesia here. I will Seed Bomb the Goldeen. Sorry, the Sea King. I read that as... For some reason I saw one of those as a psychic type. No idea why. Maybe I saw it as like... I could have swore I saw like a Slowbro approaching or something like that. Obviously going a little bit mad, but there we go. Do you have any friends who want to go to the beach with you? My sister gave me my Pokemon. I raised it, now it's my important partner. Very sweet. So we'll continue with these spinner trainers, none of which are particularly threatening to us. The Tentacool are probably the most interesting, just because they have Poison Jab, it seems, most of them, which obviously is a threat to us, in that it is at least neutral on every Mon. But they don't make the most of it, which is fine by me. We'll go back into Cradily on the Pelipper, because it seems at the levels that we see, so like the 40s, they're stuck with Pursuit as their main attacking move, and like they're easier to deal with than the Wingull, because the Wingull at least have Air Cutter. Okay, so we'll just switch Meganium to the front. Just again trying to keep everyone. Want to keep everyone sort of evenish in terms of level. It's just so easy to let. I love how I rock polished it and I still wasn't faster than my Meganium. But yeah, we just want to keep everyone sort of keeping around the same sort of level. But we keep using Vileplume against the Tentacles, so it just means that Vileplume is getting more opportunities than most of the other ones. So we can Petal Dance here for excellent damage on all of the mons coming through. I will swap out because no point risking it. We see the Pursuit again. But we can even just Feint Attack and do sufficient damage to take out the Wingull, take out the Whalmer. So yeah, so obviously we do have the abandoned ship as a place we could be heading towards. We see the Taunt, so we can't Spore it. We'll just Drain Punch. We'll probably get hit by Rough Skin, but Rough Skin does not do a lot. I doubt there'll be much inside the abandoned ship for us to be too worried about. As I mentioned earlier, we can't explore all of it because we don't have Dive. I think there might be a few there are a few trainers around here. Okay, so we've got a beauty and a youngster, so I was thinking we might see some new types, but instead we actually just see. And of course we managed to naturally Petal Dance the Linoon, of course. That's exactly what we wanted to see. Cradily, you can just Ancient Power the... And we'll swap you out for Electric type, so we resist everything. We're just going to Shiftry here. Dive does very little. Ancient Power again, why not? And Leaf Blade the Whalmer. Bye, Whalmer. Out comes the Horsey, we will Acid and Leaf Blade the Horsey, such that Acid hopefully does a bit more. Except the fact that we are actually faster now, because... So there we go, we are certainly... Demands... doesn't know about that. I'm in trouble with my Monster ranking secret. So the guy next door, you. Ships of this sort are rare, so I'm taking a look around. There appear to be other cabins. So yeah, naturally, normally the way you go around here is sort of like the various cabins with keys that you don't get, that you sort of have to try and find. What do you have to say? Isn't it fun here? I get excited just by being here. A bit more risky than fun, but there we go. Spheal is an ice type, so I would Ancient Power if I had the PP. We'll go Ludicolo as opposed to anything else. I don't know. It said it. I thought it said Spheal used 51, which was quite random. And it might just have been tried to use Hail or something, and for some reason it failed. Anyway, we see a Machoke. We'll just surf here, as Bullet Punch does very little to us, being a resisted move. So we see the storage room that we don't have the key for. Someone is seasick, even on stationary ships. So there's the dive area that we can't use yet. And then here we have the escape rope. A tuber who's just excited to be on a ship. This is a perfect place to go exploring, it's exciting, I bet there are amazing treasures on board. And then we can head up onto the other side. Another tuber who has an Azumarill. So we'll go into Vileplume, and we can Giga Drain, get all of that health. Vileplume has been an excellent addition to the team, it's doing an excellent job. So these two have, again, got mons that are particularly weak for us, which is always nice. So we'll Petal Dance, it kills them. Unfortunately, went for the wrong one, really. But there we go. So, I mean, obviously Acid wouldn't have killed, but that would have been easier. So as you say, this guy mentions that there are something sparkling, and essentially they sort of sparkle as you enter the room, or etc. and you need to remember where they sparkled, and then you can use that as information for later on. We'll go into Breloom here, and we will also go into Ludicolo, Helping Hand, and Bug Buzz. So that does a lot of damage, as you would expect, being at least nominally effective. We'll just Spore the Volbeat, and we'll go for a nice Acid here. This won't necessarily be easy. Just because our moves are somewhat not very effective. So we'll just, I mean, I don't know how you Helping Hand through the sleep, but I'm going to go to sleep as he protects. Please, nope, doesn't want to go to sleep, okay. I'm surprised he outspeeds, but Shiftry is obviously a risk because of, well, he's more than super effective. He's quite effective on me, but there we go. So we defeat Kira and Dan. That is impressive, sort of seeing there essentially how mons such as terrible Pokemon such as Volbeat and Lily Music can actually be of some interest to us due to the sort of the quirks of stuff. So this guy wants to find us. This guy wants a scanner. We can get the storage key from him, or from this room, which then allows us to go back to the room labelled storage. And I think in here we get a Sea Stone. Ah, Sea Stone. Make certain species of Pokemon evolve. That's interesting. I don't believe there's a Sea Stone in the game, so I wonder what it makes evolve. I might be completely wrong here. That's always a possibility. But there we go. Interesting. We'll revive up Breloom. Bring out a Super Potion on like everyone who needs it. So yeah, ideally we want Rock Slide on Cradilly at some point. Rock Slide over something like, you know, Stone Edge. I don't think Stone Edge is there. My liar boyfriend told me I look great in a bikini. Don't know why you're thinking he's a liar, but there we go. And we get confused. Lovely. Gotta love a bit of I should be synthesizing here through most of that, but there we go. Even if it's a lie, I love being told I look great. We girls are so complex. Well, thank you for that. I mean, what an interesting insight. So again, we have nothing to hit this, so we'll just rock or now we'll Amnesia. And you synthesis up with. And then we'll go for Acid and Petal Dance. Petal Dance crashes into the Pelipper. Acid does very little, but kills the main Nectric, which is lovely. The Swallow is obviously a threat, but I'm pretty sure I have no choice but to stay in at the moment. And we're going to get confused. Come on, yeah, you can fight through confusion. Lovely Meganium. Poison Jab does a lot. And Confusion, we hit ourselves in Confusion, which is never fun. Poison Jab does a lot again. Again, we'll just Acid. We have no Giga Drain, so we'll have to Moonlight here because. So we'll go for double Acid here. We'll swap out just so that we can maintain the experience that we just got. Of course we get poisoned. That's not fun. Breloom is poisoned. Oh yeah, we can't heal in battle. Right. Forgot. Why is this tentacle faster than all of my team? So, last one is the Machoke, which is not fun. We'll just have to Leaf Blade, hope that we're faster, and Acid again. We are faster, thank goodness. That was not cute at all, indeed. We get a Star Piece. So, with half of my team now very much injured, gonna try and make relatively uninterrupted progress to Slateport, which is located just here, thankfully. So, and then we'll just go back, finish off some of those battles, and I think we're done for this episode. It's pretty much all I wanted to get done, which is just all of these little battles. Once we do get it done, we'll be in a good position, sort of heading forward, heading onwards. See a Marill, we'll just acid it instead of running away like we usually do. Play rough does so little, which is fine. I didn't realise you were a spinner. We see another Marill. I love a crit. And... okay, so it wasn't even double battle at all, so that's fine. We see a Tentacle. We see an item being a PP up, which is always handy for far later in the game. So, we have a Bird Keeper and a Fisherman. The Bird Keeper is obviously the threat here. We'll just Rock Smash the Skarmory here. See how much we can do. So obviously, the Whalmer is currently going for Bounce. And Steel Wing takes us out, which is okay. Obviously not ideal. Still, we'll Giga Drain the Skarmory, and we will Rock Smash the Skarmory, because we want to get rid of that. Of course we get Paralyzed. And we do not currently have access to a nice sort of recovery move, such as sorry, we don't have something like Aromatherapy yet. So Vileplume wants to learn Petal Dance, but no, we definitely need the recovery. Like, it's really important on Vileplume as one of our bulkier mons to actually still have a form of recovery. Well, essentially two forms of recovery. Obviously, we have Moonlight, which is particularly useful, but also we now have we also have Giga Drain, and Giga Drain is a good move anyway. Like Space 75 power is nothing to really be ignored. I think we've only got a few more battles around here, so we'll just try and quickly zip through these. Breloom, you have not had the chance in the sun. Oh yeah, I forget that these Pelipper literally have nothing to touch us in terms of flying or water type moves. Seems they have just got stockpile. Again, I've got to be careful because Poison Jab is a problem. Thankfully... Come on, there we go, I did. Well done, Vileplume. We had to be careful there, because obviously, if he had actually had Poison Jab, I don't know whether he did, but if he did have Poison Jab, then he should have used it there, because he put us at -2 defense. But thankfully he did not. I would... Oh, now I can't escape, can I? Please just die. Thank you. Anyway, is there anything? No, there's nothing along that side of the beach, which is the important thing. We've got this couple, Mal and Paul, who have another set of annoying mons, being this time or light screen here. I think it's actually going to be very helpful. Ancient Power will obviously destroy the Beautifly. We can just Petal Dance, which is wall resisted, but there we go. Ancient Power bringing us rewards there. Turns out when you have the PP, it's actually very good. Do we have a Poison Healing Berry? Yes, we do. Use it on Kinlia. Okay, so I think there was like maybe 1 or 2 more battles that we need to look at, and then we will be ready to ditch these water routes and start heading back and start heading towards our next big threat. And it is a big threat because once more we have a gym leader based on a type that is super effective against us in Winona. Still, I do like the battle. Generally, I think Winona's pretty cool. And a lot of the battles that you have with... I don't entirely remember everything that happened in the battle, the first battle you have with her, but I imagine... So, I like the gym, let's put it that way. The Fortree gym is quite nice. But anyway, that looks like it is. This is it. So, I hope you have enjoyed this episode of my Grass Monotype. Oh, Pokemon Emerald Omega. Hope you'll join me on the next, where we will, like I say, be rejoining the path forwards. We can essentially start heading east from Moorville and head over onto the second sort of major location in terms of, like, sort of the major... Once we make it along Route 118, we can finally sort of start moving up here towards the weather centre, and then we have a Fortree City, and then I'll be making our way down towards Lily Cove, and then we have everything to do over here. Mainly because we can't actually hit Pacific Log from where we currently are due to the Tempest Storm thing that sort of blocks our path. So anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this episode. Hope you'll join us on the next.